Hey everyone! So today I'm gonna show you how I modeled and sculpted this star in Blender. Okay, so we're gonna start with an empty scene in Blender. Go into the front view and add an image reference. I chose this spiky star that I liked, and then we're gonna turn the opacity down. And then now we're gonna add a Bezier curve. Go into edit mode and delete all the points. And then you're gonna select the draw tool and then just trace over the entire thing. So it doesn't have to be like too clean or anything, just like roughly trace it over. And now you're gonna go into the right, go into the curve properties, and then in the bevel tab, just turn up the depth. So I did mine as 0.1. So then that adds some like thickness onto the curve, and then you can like see what you're doing better. And then now I'm just drawing even more. So you can see I'm like trying to draw into like different perspectives, but it wasn't really working, so in the end I just stuck with front view, which is numpad 1, and now I'm just roughly tracing over the entire thing. You want to make sure not to overlap like parts that you don't want to overlap, because we're gonna join this all together at the end. And then just roughly tracing over even more. I know it looks really bad right now, but we're gonna join it all together at the end, so it's not gonna be like separate tubes. And now I'm gonna add another Bezier curve again. Go into edit mode, delete all of the vertices, and now on the top left, instead of cursor, I've selected surface. So right now we're drawing on top of the tubes that we already have. So I'm doing this so that we can add more like depth and dimension to the star. And I've done the same where I've changed the bevel depth to 0.1 so that there's some thickness. And then we're just kind of tracing on top of it to kind of make it more like dimensional on the y-axis. And now I'm just going to top view and just deleting the parts that are sticking out. And then I've also clicked on the fill caps button so that the tubes are like closed. And then selecting them and then Ctrl J to join. So now it's one object. And then I'm going into the modifier tab and adding a remesh modifier. So you don't want it to be too low, so I'm just pressing down on the voxel size until it looks like acceptable. Basically, the lower it is, the more detail there is, so it's gonna slow down your computer. So my computer's pretty slow, so I kind of try to make it as high as possible without looking too bad, so I ended up on 0.06 meters. And then I just added the subdivision surface modifier so that I can check like how it looks with that on and see if it looks fine. And then you're gonna delete the modifier and then convert it to a mesh. So when you convert it, the remesh modifier is automatically applied, and then you're gonna add back the subdivision surface modifier. Yeah, I've decided to move the image reference to the right so I can see it while I'm sculpting and see if it's like looking how I want it to. So we're gonna use the smooth tool first, because right now there's like a lot of ridges and stuff that I just want to like even out a bit. So I've turned the strength down quite low, it's like 0.3, because if you use the smooth tool like too much, it thins out like the mesh and then it turns out like not looking that nice. So you don't want to go overboard with this. So I'm just smoothing out places that looks like it's not supposed to be this bumpy. This part you just kind of eyeball it and like do it however you want. I don't really have much experience with sculpting because my laptop is like really slow, so every time I do stuff like this, it lags quite a bit. Um, I have like also a lot of these like tiny little dents, which I'm not sure why that happens. So if you know, like please tell me. But I'm just trying to get rid of them like as much as possible. And then now I'm just gonna start forming the spikes. So if you go over something with the smooth tool enough, it kind of turns like thinner and thinner. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. Make sure you do it in like different angles so that it smooths it down on all sides. If you just do it from the front, it's just gonna flatten it, which doesn't look really good in my opinion. So I'm just running it over with the smooth tool from different angles and then creating like a sharp point. And also make sure you don't overdo it with the smooth tool or else you're gonna kind of lose that like organic shape that we like. And then the draw tool kind of, I would say it adds on, like it kind of makes it more like bulbous. I'm not really sure what it does, but if I want to add back more thickness to like a part of it, then I'll use the draw tool for that. Okay, and then now we're going in with the snake hook. So yeah, this basically drags out like a sharp point in your mesh. So I'm just using that for some of the spikes. And then also use like the elastic to form and like drag some parts around. This part is like really intuitive, so I can't really give like too much instruction on like what I'm doing because I'm literally just looking and thinking like, okay, how can I make this look better? So the main ones I've used are like the draw tool, smooth, grab, elastic deform, and snake hook. So just those 5 ones. Okay, so that's basically the whole process of modeling and sculpting the star. So if you have any questions about this process, just let me know and I'll make like more detailed tutorials explaining it. So yeah, that's all. Thank you. Bye.